Welcome, everyone. Things are getting a little woolly around here with all the barber shops and hair salons closed. We're all hoping that those will open up. That's about the most urgent, I'd say. Anyway, welcome today. We are going to spend a little bit of time today working on balance, strengthening the feet, working on awareness of the feet, awareness of balance, and that's going to be kind of our focus today. We'll do a general sequence, but within that sequence, balance will be what we'll be focusing on. We are going to start in a standing position. If you would like to have a chair handy, please feel free. Whatever you need to feel more comfortable and proceed in these sorts of endeavors, please have a chair handy. Let's get started. We're going to start in a standing position, feet about hip width apart, and knees just very slightly bent. So let's start and let's just find our breath. That will be the first task this afternoon. Find your breath. Let it do its natural thing. We're not going to control it. What we do want to note is how long an exhale takes, how long an inhale takes. And those lengths of an inhale, length of an exhale are what is going to determine a lot of the movements we do and what sort of timing we do. So typically we will move in one direction on an inhale, the other direction on the exhale, and that breath work will determine when we move. So let's take a few breaths. And let's find 2 points on the front of each foot, one at the base of the big toe, one at the base of the pinky, and then a third point at the center of the heel. So 3 points total on each foot, base of big toe, base of the pointer or pinky, and center of the heel. And I'd like you to try and balance all 3 points so that even weight is being held on all 3 points. And we're going to do a little bit of shifting so that instead of all 3 points evenly weighted, we're going to shift the weight to different points or different combinations of points so that we wake up the foot and we take a look at how balance is achieved in some of these movements. So I'd like you to start right now and bring a little more pressure to the inner edge of your foot. So the big toe point and the heel. So those 2 points, a little more pressure there. We're not doing a full lift. We're just changing the pressure and then slowly roll that pressure out so that the outer edge of each foot is holding more pressure. So pinky point, center of the heel, those 2 points are evenly weighted. The big toe point is slightly less weighted. And then let's shift our weight again so that the pinky toe, the outer edge of the foot, is slightly less weighted. More weight on the inner edge, the big toe point, center of heel. And we're going to do a little breath work here. On the exhale, roll out to the outer edge so that more weight is on the outer edge. On the inhale, roll the feet in the opposite direction so there's more weight on the big toe point and the heel on the inner edge of the foot. So each exhale, roll to the outer edge. Each inhale, roll to the inner edge. So we're not doing a full lift here. This is just shifting the weight. It's a subtle movement. A subtle movement timed with the breath. Inhale, roll, inner edge in. Exhale, roll the outer edge. And let's release. Find all 3 points on each foot. Evenly balance them. So we're not going to be shifting the weight side to side. Evenly balance all 3 points. And then I want you to unweight the heels very slightly. And at the same time, push the toes down into the mat. And release, come back to all 3 points. And then unweight the heel one more time. Toes push down into the mat. And release. So we're going to bring a little breath work in here. Inhale, the heels unweight, toes push in. Exhale, we come back to all 3 foot points evenly weighted and the toes released. Inhale, heel lifts, toes press down. Exhale, come back to all 3 points. Let's do a few of those on your own. And release. All right. We're going to take our feet a little bit wider apart. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some very slow shifting between feet. So let's start with the left leg anchored. On the next inhale, slightly lift the right foot. On the exhale, put the right foot down, anchor it. Inhale, lift the left foot. Exhale, anchor the left foot. Inhale, lift the right foot. Exhale, put the right foot down and anchor. Left foot lifts. Put that foot down and let me talk about anchoring the feet. One of the key things for balance, especially in a yoga environment, is to be able to anchor the foot down. And that means that the foot feels anchored and that your attention, your mental attention is focused on that foot or feet being anchored into the ground. So your attention is on the foot and on the anchoring of that foot. That is really big help in balance poses. And it does take some time to figure out how that actually works and to kind of get a feeling for how it works and how you can move at the same time as you're focusing your attention on an anchored foot. So when we do this movement, this very simple movement, when I say anchor a foot, I want you to bring your attention to that foot. Feel it being pulled down into the ground so that there's a very solid anchoring of the foot into the ground. before you lift the other foot. So on every exhale, we'll put a foot down, anchor it. On the next succeeding inhale, we lift the opposite foot. So we have a decent amount of time to place the foot down, bring our attention to it, anchor it before the other foot lifts. So exhale, one foot down, anchor it. Inhale, lift the other foot. Exhale, anchor that foot. Inhale, lift the other foot. Exhale, anchor. Inhale, lift. So I'm going to let you do this at your own pace. Put the foot down and anchor it on the exhale. Lift the opposite foot on the inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Anchor. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. You may find it a bit challenging to keep your attention on the anchor of the foot while you are trying to pay attention to everything else. And we're soon going to make that even a little more difficult. So what we're going to do is on the inhale, we're going to slowly start to swing the lifted foot back just slightly. Inhale, foot swings back. Exhale, put the foot down, anchor it. Inhale, foot swings back. Exhale, foot down and anchor. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So make this nice and smooth, nice and long. And as you do this movement, as you begin to feel a little more comfortable with anchoring the foot down, you can try bringing the lifted foot back and around a little further so that maybe the foot comes behind you. So here's the inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. While you do this, notice what you feel on the planted leg, the leg that is now rotating and twisting. All right, you've got that down pretty well. Let's add a little something to it. So I'm very excited. The Premier League in England, which is high level, the highest level soccer in England, uh, may start again if they can figure things out. So what we'd like to do is we're going to add a little bit of a soccer kick to this. So here's our movement. Exhale, anchor foot. Inhale, lift this foot back. Exhale, kick that soccer ball. Inhale, bring the leg back. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale, kick that ball. Inhale, bring that foot back. Exhale down. Anchor the foot. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do a few on your own. Here's the inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Try to keep your attention on that anchored foot. That's going to help your balance quite a bit. And next time you've got both feet down, release. All right. Last week, the session we focused on half moon, and I'd like to do a little bit, since we've got a good deal of overlap here, good deal with overlap and half moon. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to do basically the same sort of movement we were just doing. We're going to drop the soccer kick, uh, just in case soccer season doesn't happen. So let's see. We're going to inhale with the foot coming back. Exhale, bring that foot down. Inhale, the other foot comes back. Exhale down. What we're going to add is we're going to have the shoulders follow the pelvis. So if I swing my right leg back, my pelvis rotates to the right. I'm going to have my shoulders rotate a little further than the pelvis so that the shoulders are facing basically straight to the side. Now I'm going to have my foot up, but that's what we're going to do. Inhale, foot comes around, torso comes around also. Exhale, put that foot down, anchor it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let me show you what it looks like from the front. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And release. We're going to do one more movement from this. And this is what it's going to be like. We're going to do a very minor, mini half moon. So, side view. If I swing my right leg back, here's the inhale, shoulders swing too. And then once we finish with the rotation, we're going to tilt over a little tiny bit. Exhale out. Anchor the foot. Inhale. Tilt. Exhale, come out. Inhale and tilt. Exhale. Anchor that foot. Inhale and tilt. Exhale. Let's do a few on our own. Let's do one more each side. And release. All right. Let's come into constructive rest pose. We're going to do a little bit of work with the lower torso, upper thighs, generally this area here between the diaphragm and the upper thighs. We'll do a little bit of movement there. Constructive rest pose looks like this. So let's start by finding our breath. Noticing if our heart rate has gone up a little bit. And bring your heels in towards your butt as close as they will comfortably come. And what we're going to start with is we're going to start by pushing one knee forward. So my right knee is going to push forward. My left knee is going to pull back. So the knees are moving in opposite directions. Exhale and release. Inhale, reverse the knee movements. Exhale, release. So each inhale, the knees will move in opposite directions. On the exhale, we will release and relax. And as you do this movement, notice what you feel from this movement. Where do you feel the muscle heat, the muscle energy? You'll notice that the knee that is moving forward away from your torso, that the pelvis on that side will also lift up off the mat. So if my left knee is forward, the left side of my pelvis is going to be lifted off the mat. Notice if this movement feels the same on the right and the left side of your body. Or does it feel different? For me, with my left knee pushing forward, it definitely feels different on the glutes on the left side. I get more twinges and feelings when the left knee moves forward. Let's do a few more. And release. So we're going to change the arms a little bit. We're going to put the forearms down into the mat, and we're going to bring the hands so that they're facing straight up. Palms can be towards your face. And what we're going to do is a low bridge. So what we had been doing is pushing one knee forward, the other knee back. And what we're going to do this time is we're going to push both knees forward. So there's no lift here in the midsection. We're simply pushing the knees forward. Now, your pelvis is going to come off the mat, probably a couple of inches, maybe 2, maybe 3 inches. But we're not lifting from the midsection. The movement is knees away from the torso. So on each inhale, push those knees away. On the exhale, come on down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You want to keep that lumbar curve so you're not flattening out the lower back into the mat. Notice what muscles make this movement. Let's do one more. And release. All right, I'm going to shift around just a little bit here. What we're going to do next um, is a form of yoga movement, but we're going to split it up into little component parts. So the typical yoga movement is to bring your thighs vertical and then bring both thighs to one side, back to center, and then both thighs to the other side, back to center. We're going to do a few of those. I'd like you to have your hands behind your head and keep the shoulders anchored so you're not going to come all that deep, maybe halfway down. And the breath work here is exhale as we move to the side, inhale to center, exhale to the side, inhale to center. Notice the pelvis rocks back and forth as the knees move side to side. We're going to go after that same pelvic movement, but the knees are going to move in different directions here shortly. Let's do one more each side. And release. So what we're going to do next is we're going to have the legs move in opposite directions, and I'm going to do a head-on view here so you can see what the knees are doing. We're going to take one knee and drop it down to the ground, and the other knee pushes up towards the ceiling. Come back to center. Exhale. The other knee comes down. One knee pushes up. Back to center. So the breath work is exhale as the knee comes down. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. I'm going to shift around. We'll continue that movement. And we're going to add a little bit something to that. What we're going to add is as the leg comes down, we're going to straighten that leg, bring it back to center. Exhale, one knee down, straighten the leg, inhale to center. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. When the leg comes down and straightens, bring the foot in an arc towards your head. Notice the pelvis rocks back and forth as you do this movement. And feel where the muscle heat is. You've done enough repetitions that you should be able to feel which muscles are making this movement. Let's do one more each side. And release. Take a few breaths and just notice what you feel, where you feel, and how does it feel. Hopefully it feels delicious. We're going to continue with a few more movements in the lower torso. So let's come back to constructive rest pose and bring your hands, interlace them, bring them behind your head. And let's just take a few more breaths here. Just relax into whatever it is that you're feeling right now. And then let's bring the thighs vertical. And what we're going to do next is a really slow, really simple movement where one knee will move in towards the chest. So that would be my right knee moving in towards my chest. My left knee moves away from my chest until the foot taps on the ground. So this knee stops when it stops. This knee stops when the foot taps the mat. And then on the next breath, we reverse that. So on an inhale, the knees will move in one direction. On the exhale, they will move in the opposite direction. So this movement's going to be really slow. If your inhale takes about 3 seconds, it'll take 3 seconds for the knee to move from one position to the other position. And at a certain point here, you'll start to feel some heat. And once you start feeling some of that heat, let's do about 5 or 6 more cycles here. Legs in one direction, legs in the other direction. And release. So relax all the way. Feel the energy that was just generated there. And relax. Enjoy the feeling. So we're going to shift into table position, and that's where we will start the next set of movements. So I'm going to start this way, since we're going to start a little bit with the hands. And when we started, we focused on 3 points on the feet. And what we're going to do here with the hands is focus on 4 points on the hands. Let me move a little closer. So the 4 points on the hands are the base of the pointer finger, the base of the pinky finger, the heel of the palm, and the base of the thumb. So thumb, base of pointer, base of pinky, heel, the heel of the palm. So those 4 points, what we're going to do is we're going to come into a table position and we're going to balance the pressure on those 4 points. And then slowly we're going to work on moving the pressure more to one of the other points or even 2 of the other points. Usually it'll be across the metatarsals. So let's come into table and find all 4 points and find an even amount of pressure between all 4 points. And then what we're going to do, slowly bring a little, we're not really going to lift more, just bring a little bit more pressure to the base of the pointer finger. And then slowly roll that pressure out until you've got a slight bit more pressure at the base of the pinky. And then roll that down to the heel of the palm. And then so that there's more pressure on the base of the thumb. And a little further in the same direction to the base of the pointer. So we're going to do a full circle here. So from the base of the pointer finger, move the pressure to the base of the pinky, palm, base of the thumb, base of the pointer, and pointer to the pinky, and then back again, back to the base of the pointer finger. So just roll back and forth with your breath. Exhale will move in one direction. Inhale will move in the opposite direction. And movements like that, slowly shifting the weight. And let's bring our attention to all 4 points, evenly weight them. Evenly weight all 4 points. And I'm going to shift around so you can see this a little more clearly. We're going to do a little bit of work with the upper arms and shoulders. So starting in table, thighs vertical. And I want your hands to be about as wide as shoulders, so not quite as wide as the usual table. What we're going to do on the exhale is we're going to bend at the elbows and bring them down towards the mat. We're not going to bring them all the way down to the mat. So there's no weight on the forearms. And then we come up again. So exhale down. Inhale up. So you'll notice you have to rotate at the elbows in order to allow those arms to come down. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. As you come down, ideally you want to have the forearms parallel to each other. If your shoulders and elbows won't allow that, that's fine. Do whatever you can do. And I want you to notice all 4 points on your palms and see if you can keep pressure even as you come down towards the mat and back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Let's do one more. And release. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of work with a spinal twist from table also. I'm going to do a head-on view so you can see what this looks like. See if I can fit within the frame here. All right. So from table, we're going to take one arm out straight to the side so that it's parallel with the floor. And then on an inhale, we're going to lift at the shoulder so that the shoulder comes up and we have a spinal twist. The hips are going to stay in place. They're vertical. Come on down. Bring that hand down. Other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Now we're going to add a little bit of something to that, and that is a little bit of leg movement. So let me shift around here so you can see both the arm and the leg. So we're going to move opposite arms and legs. So if I'm moving my right arm up, I'm going to use my left leg back. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift both the right arm and the left leg. Come down. Inhale, left arm, right leg lifts. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more each side. And release. All right. We're going to come up to a standing position and do a few movements from there. So come on up. We're going to start in sumo position. So I'd like you to bring your feet somewhat wide, 3, maybe 4 feet wide. Your feet are going to be out, toes a little wider than your heels. So feet are not parallel, toes are kind of coming out a little bit from the heels. And what we're going to start with is we're going to bend one knee. So I'm going to bend my right knee. The other knee straightens. Come back up. So exhale as we bend a knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. There we go. So I'd like you to set your own pace. Exhale as you bend the knee. Inhale back to center. and release. So what we have been doing here is, bending a knee, coming back to center. What we'd like to do next is to kind of do a sumo slide so that when we come down, notice the level that the hips are at. We're going to slide from one side to the other instead of coming up in the center. So we'll come down, we'll slide to the other side, slide back. So we'll inhale as we slide to one side, exhale as we slide to the other side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And now let's add a little bit of something. We're going to add a little bit of torso twist. So just let your arms swing as they naturally would. And if you really want to test your balance, lift the foot. And come to center. Come on out and release. All right. We've got one more movement to do, and then we'll relax. The next movement is ninja pose, and we're going to start with the mat in a sideways position. So if you can picture, let's see, I think you can see this okay. So here's my mat running lengthwise. I'm going to take my right foot, it's going to be the back foot, put my toes out by the right edge of the mat and my foot at about a 45-degree angle. My left foot is going to come onto the left side of the mat, and I'm going to take that foot and I'm going to bring it in about 15, 20 degrees. So let me show you what this looks like from a head-on view. If you will picture a mat running this way, so my right foot will be out towards the right edge of the mat. My left foot will be out towards the left edge of the mat, and then I'll bring my leading foot, my front foot, in a tiny little bit. So that's the foot alignment. So you notice you have a fairly wide stance here, and that's for balance. And let me shift around sideways so you can see this. So right foot by the right edge of the mat, left foot by the left edge. Bring the left toes in a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something similar to that sumo slide. What we're going to do is we're going to start with a squat. And then from the squat, we're going to come forward and then come back and forward and back. So this is ninja pose. Come back to center. Come on up. All right, let's do the second side. I think what I'll do is shift around here. So in this case, left foot is going to be back towards the left edge of the mat, foot at about a 45-degree angle. Right foot is forward, bring it in about 15, 20 degrees, squat. And then from the squat, we move forward, slide back, slide forward, slide back. Come back to center. Come on back up. And release. So I'd like you to find a comfortable position on your back, on a chair, whatever you find comfortable. We're going to do a little breath work, a little body awareness, and we're going to relax. So make yourself comfortable. And I'd like you to start by just bringing your attention to your breath. Notice the inhale, notice the exhale. And we're going to bring a particular attention to the exhale. So each exhale that you make, I want you to bring your attention to a specific area on your body. And when you bring your attention to that area, I want you to focus on letting that part of your body relax. So I'd like to start with the feet. We started our asana with the feet. I'd like to start our relaxation with the feet. So on the next couple of exhales, bring your attention to your feet and let them relax. If they're holding tension, let that tension melt away. If they're feeling cold, let them warm up. Let them feel like they're part of this circulatory system too, and they're getting that nice warm flow. And after a couple of exhales with your attention on your feet, let's move up slightly to the calves. And the next couple of exhales, bring your attention to the calves and let them relax. And then let's bring our attention up to the thighs. Couple of exhales here. Let the thighs relax. Feel them just melting off the bones, releasing, relaxing. And then let's bring our attention for the next several exhales to the lower torso, pelvic bowl. Let everything relax. And then bring our attention to the middle back and the upper back, backs of the shoulders. Let everything there relax. Each exhale, concentrate on relaxing. And let's bring our attention to the tops of the shoulders, the neck, the chest, and let all of those muscles release. And next, let's bring our attention to the rest of the head, to the temples, to the roof of the mouth, to the jaws. Let them all release. And let's take our next inhale a little deeper and follow it with a very slow exhale. Feel the relaxation through the entire body. And we'll think about moving. And our next couple of inhales, slowly wake everything up again. Stretch everything out, legs, the arms, the fingers. And when you're ready, slowly come back up to a seated position. Let's bring our hands together. Slight bow. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope the rest of the day is marvelous. Thanks again.